How's it going, everyone? In this video, we are going to illustrate how an infinite series can add up to something that is not infinity. In other words, if you're adding up numbers forever, how can the sum of all of those numbers equal something other than infinity? And from that, we're going to illustrate a similar concept, which is if you have a function, for example, the normal distribution, a function that is defined above zero from negative infinity to positive infinity, how can the area under the curve, the integral of that function, how could that equal something other than infinity? And actually how this topic came up was when I was asked in class, well, how can the area under the normal distribution curve be equal to 1 if it is above 0 from negative infinity to infinity? So we're going to illustrate all of that. So let's start with the example on top. 1 plus 1 over 2, 1/2, plus 1/4, plus 1/8, plus 1/16. So you get the pattern. We're always adding what is half of the previous number. We can write this in summation notation as the sum from n equals 0 to infinity of 1 over 2 to the power of n. Right? So the next number is always half of the previous number starting from 1. Well, this infinite sum, right, it continues forever, it actually adds up to 2. Okay, so this actually adds up to 2. It does not add up to infinity, even though you're always adding a positive number forever and ever. And there's a few ways we can illustrate this. So here's one way. Let's say we have a distance of 2 meters. Or why don't we make it kilometers? Doesn't really matter. So let's say you start here, and you're always moving half the distance until the finish line. Well, first, you move up to here. That's half the distance, right? That is a distance of 1. Okay, then you move again half the distance between you and the finish line. Well, that's a distance of 1/2, right? It's half of what's left, which is half of what you just traveled. Then you move here. Well, that's going to be a distance of 1/4, right? It's half of what's left, which is half of what you just traveled, right? That's 1/4. Then you move here, okay? Well, that's 1/8. Then you move here, okay? And that distance is 1/16. And then you'll move here. That's 1/32. Then you'll move here. That's 1/64, and so on. And so you'll never actually surpass that finish line. But if you continue this pattern for infinity, well, the finish line is where this pattern leads you to, right? So how much distance will you cover if you keep doing this to infinity? In other words, what do you get if you add up all of these distances that you're traveling? Well, you will get 2, which is the whole distance, right? It's the sum of 1 over 2 to the power of n as n goes from 0 to infinity. Well, that is going to equal to 2. So there's an illustration of how a positive infinite series can add up to a finite number, something other than infinity. Now, how can we extend this to continuous functions like the normal distribution, which started this whole discussion? Now, I won't get into the integral of the normal distribution here because I want to illustrate this in a way that could be seen without advanced mathematics like the integral of a normal distribution. So, consider we have an area, a rectangular area, that is 2 by 1. So the area is 2. Okay, and we start painting this area by covering half of what has not been painted. Okay, so first we paint this section here, right? It has an area of 1 by 1, right? Because if 2 is all of this, well, half of that is 1, right? So this has an area of 1, okay? And then we paint half of what remains, okay? So that is going to be this area here. All right, so, well, that's an area of 1 over 2 by 1, which is 1 over 2, right? So how much has been painted? 1 plus 1 over 2. Now let's paint half of what's left. Okay, so that's this. All right, what's that area? Well, that's 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/4. 1/2, right? This is 1/2, right? We're always painting half of what we painted before, which is also half of what's left. And so 1/4. Now we paint half of what's left again. That's 1/8. 1 over 8. Then we paint half of what's left again. That's 1 over 16. And we continue doing this forever. Half of what's left, that's 1 over 32. Half of what's left, what's 1 over 64. And so on. Okay? Now, we can keep on doing this, and we can even use the power of technology here to zoom in and allow us to get very detailed in how we continue doing this forever and ever. All right? And so on. And if we were to do this to infinity, eventually the entire area will get painted, and that will equal to 2. So again, it's another way of illustrating how this infinite series has a finite sum. Now we are going to use these areas here for something, because what if we take all these squares and rectangles that we painted, and instead of having them arranged in this spiral, we actually put them side by side lengthwise. So we end up with something that looks like this. Right? So there's our first 1 by 1 square of area 1. Okay? And then beside it there's our rectangle of area 1/2. And beside it there's our square of area 1/4. And beside it there's our rectangle of area 1/8. And beside it is our square of area 1/16. And beside it is our rectangle of area 1/32. And we just keep on doing this. So we're laying out the same shapes that we drew right here, but instead of in a spiral formation, we are just laying them end to end. Okay? And of course, we can do this up to infinity, because these shapes will continue up to infinity. Now, what if we take the inside corner of every place where we have a corner, and the corner right here, and we draw a curve? Well, that curve will continue until infinity. And the area under that curve will be less than the entire painted area. So the area under that curve, whatever it is, well, it's going to be greater than 0, and it's going to be less than 2, because we know that all of the red shaded region has to add up to 2. So there's your illustration of how a continuous positive function defined all the way up to infinity can have an area under it that is a finite number, less than infinity. Now, before we go, I want to show you another more formal way of calculating this summation. Let's say we define S as being equal to this sum. 1 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 8 plus 1 over 16 and so on, right? That is equal to the sum from n equals 0 to infinity of 1 over 2 to the power of n. Now what if we multiply that by 2? So we have 2s. Well, what's that going to be equal to? Well, that's going to be 2 plus 2 over 2 plus 2 over 4 plus 2 over 8 plus 2 over 16 and so on. Well, that's, if simplified, that's 2 plus 1 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 8 and so on. Now recognize that this right here, that's just this right here. That's the original sum. So what we have then is that 2s equals 2 plus s, right? That's this 2 right here, is this 2 right here, and this right here is s, right? Is this s. So what we have then is 2s equals 2 plus s. Bring this s to the other side. We have 2s minus s equals 2, or s equals 2. There's your formal proof that this summation does in fact equal 2. And I'll leave you with a math joke. A guy walks into a bar and he says, "I'll have a beer." And then the next guy walks in and he says, "I'll have half a beer." And the next guy walks in and says, "I'll have a quarter of a beer." Next guy walks in and says, "I'll have an eighth of a beer." Another guy walks in and says, "I'll have a 16th of a beer." The bartender leans over to the bar, sees there's an infinite line of these guys coming in, and he says, I get it. 2 beers coming up." So, I hope you enjoyed that, and until next time.